Good afternoon, scholars. Happy Monday. I hope you had an excellent weekend. Let's check out our turn-in rates for the weekend's assignment. Took a little dip, 2%, so one student, which isn't bad, but I know that we can push this turn-in rate even higher. Let's get above 65 this week and stay there. All right, let's take a look at our assignment from Friday. We're going to look at Raina's first. All right, so Raina, she wrote down the feedback of Friday, which was name the moves and then explain the purpose. So the first question was, what does juror number 8 prove in this section? And how does he prove it? Raina said the 8th juror proves that it would not have taken the man 15 seconds to get to the door, especially because he had a bad leg, because he took more than 40 seconds. He proves this because he thinks the old man did this so he can get attention, and the old man is lying just to be recognized. Now, I don't know about that, because they keep saying, maybe he actually believes this. Maybe he convinced himself, possibly because he wants the recognition, right? But also, scholars, think about the article that we read about memories. If you would have asked that student who thought she remembered the Challenger explosion one way, but turned out it was a whole nother way, she wasn't lying when she remembered it wrong. She really thought that's what happened, right? Remember, our brains in traumatic events like that, they mess things up. Okay, so go easy on the old guy. He might be wrong, but he might not know that he's wrong. Okay, so don't be too harsh on him. But yes, juror number 8 proved that the old man could not have covered the distance that he said that he did in that time, because it's too long and he just moves too slow. All right, the focus question. I hit you with a deep one. I hit you with a hard one. So let's go over it. My push was to name the move. At the end of Act 1, Juror 3 shouts, "I'll kill him!" Why did Rose choose to end Act 1 in this way? Okay, so you needed to name, what is that? His name is Reginald Rose. When Reginald Rose wrote the character saying that, why? What was the purpose he was getting at? Raina said she, making the same mistake I did, using Rose like it's a first name, it's a last name. He chose to do this because it's ironic, because we know that he isn't actually going to do that. And he said, "I'll kill you." And you can only, he said that "I'll kill you" can only be used on one, while we know he isn't actually meaning it. He is just expressing his feelings. All right, a little bit muddled, but I get I'm starting to pick up on what you're saying. Ironic means that it shouldn't happen, or it's just funny, and it's the opposite of what's really going to happen. Yeah, irony is when the opposite of what you would expect happens. On page 45, the third juror says the phrase was, quote, "I'm going to kill you," and the kid screamed it out at the top of his lungs. Don't tell me he didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that the way he said it, they mean it. This proves that he says he's going to kill him, but he isn't really going to do it. He is trying to say that when people scream, Reina, and students in general, sometimes when you use pronouns like he, I know you've done lessons around vague pronouns. This is an example of vague pronoun. Because Reina, at this point, you've mentioned the author, and you've mentioned the juror 3, and you're also talking about the boy. So make sure, scholars, to actually use the actual name of the character or the author that you're talking about fairly often, because when you start using he, it can be confusing about which he you're talking about, especially because every character in this play basically is a boy. But she says, this proves that juror 3 says he's only going to kill him. He isn't really going to do that. Rose is trying to say that when people scream like that, they mean it, while we know the third juror doesn't mean what he's trying to express, his feelings. Right? Raina, you were on kind of the same track as me. Let me show you my answer. All right. So again, my push was name the move that the author did and then get to its purpose. What I mean by purpose, guys, is the what lesson is he trying to teach? What are we getting at here? Okay, let's take a look at mine. Juror 3 shouting, "I'll kill him," is an ironic example of how people give themselves grace that doesn't extend to people of a different background. What it means by grace is people kind of make excuses and go easy on themselves sometimes, and they won't do that for people that are different. Um, Grace is also like a form of kindness or understanding. Now I give some context. Throughout Act 1, Juror 3 insisted the boy killed his father. The boy, the boy supposedly shouted, "I'll kill you." Oh no, that was shouting. My bad. The boy supposedly shouting, "I'll kill you," seemed particularly to carry a lot of weight in his mind. Quote, "Someone doesn't say a thing like that unless they mean it." Other jurors reflect on this point. A few confess to having recently said it themselves, but Juror 3 doesn't budge. That's because Juror 3 doesn't view the defendant as an equal human being. Any decently fair person can put themselves in a stranger's shoes to imagine what that stranger may be thinking or feeling in order to say such a thing. But the third juror can't do it because he doesn't see the defendant as a fellow human being. He sees him as quote a little punk kid and himself as one of his executioners. Juror 3 yelling, "I'll kill him," in response to Juror 8's pestering proves the point Juror 3 had been arguing against the whole first act, right? Because Juror 3 said, "If you say that, you mean it." But then he went off and said it himself. This ironic phrase shows Juror 3's hypocrisy and unwillingness to give the defendant a fair trial because he's a Puerto Rican kid from a rough neighborhood. It's frightening that the American legal system is built upon the idea of a jury of peers when so many Americans view each other as anything but. So, what I felt the author was showing us was how people like juror number 3 won't give people like the defendant a fair shot. They don't give them that grace that they give themselves. Juror number 3 would tell himself, "Yeah, it's no big deal. I just get excited. That's why I said that." But when the defendant says, "I'll kill you," oh, that's because you actually meant it, right? He has different standards for himself. He has grace for himself that he doesn't have for the defendant, because of the kid's background, because of the kid's race, right? So that's an example. I named the move. It was ironic. The author used irony. And why did the author use that? I said to show that people like Juror 3 give themselves more grace that they won't give other people. Okay? That was the message I felt like he was trying to show. All right? Today we're going to take a bit of a break. We're going to take 2 days break from 12 Angry Men, and we're going to watch a video. And the man in the video is named Brian Stevenson. And he lives and works in Alabama. There was recently a movie that came out about him, starring Michael B. Jordan, who's he was the bad guy in Black Panther. And Michael B. Jordan plays Brian Stevenson. And what Brian Stevenson does is he's from Delaware and he went to Harvard. So those are both kind of considered northern states. And he moved to Alabama in the South because he felt like there was a lot of racial injustice in Alabama, specifically in the way that they prosecute people accused of crime. When black people are accused of crimes, he felt like they don't give a fair trial. Very similar to what we see going on in 12 Angry Men. And Mr. Stevenson's work is um, to help give them a fair shot in the legal system. Even people who have already been accused of crimes, he helps go back and look at their case and see maybe if they didn't actually do it. Or even if they did do it, he still looks for people to get just treated better. You're going to start to learn from Mr. Stevenson today about why he does what he does. And some of the work, you're going to learn more examples of the problems that he faces and that he's trying to correct. My questions for today's lesson are only from the start of the video until minute 8 and 30 seconds. So these questions are not for the whole video. Feel free to watch this whole video. My questions don't cover the whole video today, and they don't cover the whole video tomorrow. There's some ideas in this that might like kind of go over your head. It might confuse you. As a 6th grader, that's totally fine. I purposely picked sections of the video that I know that you can access, that I know that you can understand and really think deeply about. Okay? My questions go in order. So make sure you know what the question is and that you are looking for its answer. You're watching with the question in mind. That is actually my feedback for the day, and I will include a box at the top of here. My feedback for the day is to preview your questions and search for answers. Don't just watch the video without just watch it and then go look at the questions and just kind of try to answer it. Know what questions are coming up so that you can be searching for their answers. So all of these questions are going to be answered in order. So if you find that Mr. Stevenson starts naming statistic or facts, and you didn't find a problem that he does for a living, you're going to need to rewind, right? Because he's going in order. And question number 4, there's a specific phrase he says. He says, we have a system that treats you better if you are blank and blank than if you are blank and blank. You have to go in and fill in the words that he says. And your big question for the day is just a reflection. Of all the facts that Mr. Stevenson talked about or his own personal stories, what's something that he said in this clip that really stuck out to you? What was it? And what did it make you think of? What did it make you think about? Okay, so that's the big prompt for the whole video. So before you even go into the video, just know that just be paying attention for anything he says that really sticks out to you. Maybe it's something you really agree strongly with. Maybe it's something new you never heard that really interests you. Maybe it's something that makes you sad. Maybe it's something you disagree with, but just pay attention to your own feelings and your own interests as you watch the video for that thing that really kind of made you perk up the most. What stuck out to you? What is it? And what are your thoughts on that? All right. Can't wait to see your guys' reflections. I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you're getting your Lexia minutes logged. Lexia is the skills that they teach you on that program will make you such a better reader and a writer. And they're even skills that we don't have time to go over enough like we should in your VCP classes. But they're really important, guys. So make sure you're logged on your Lexia minutes. It's just half an hour. And a lot of these are kind of fun games, all right? So let's get our turn-in rates in on these assignments, and let's get those Lexia minutes way, way up. I know you guys can do it. I miss you. Stay safe, stay focused, and I will see you tomorrow.